Hello and welcome to the news updates on AFRICUNIA television, bringing you updates around the world from our studio here in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm Deborah, Ezeh. We begin from Nigeria, where the plan of the Independent National Electoral Commission to register at least 20 million Nigerian voters before the end of June seems unlikely to come to fruition, as only 5.8 million people, representing 29% of INEC's targets, have actually registered. According to INEC, as of May 16th, 9,238,991 fresh registrants had registered online, but of this figure, only 5,845,000 had completed the physical registration process. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had said last year that the commission was expected to register 20 million Nigerians before July this year. The intended target was mostly youth who had crossed the age of 18 since 2019 election. However, with barely a month left to INEC's deadline, over 70% of those INEC had thought would register have failed to do so. The Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyekomi said the Commission would not extend the deadline, which is June 30th. Moving on, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority yesterday said that it was drafting 6 regulations on midstream and downstream operation to ensure clarity, including on the issue of appropriate gas pricing. The authority, Chief Executive Farouk Ahmed, who spoke during a meeting with members of the independent petroleum producer groups in Abuja, noted that the new regulation will further improve business processes and ease of doing business in the sector. Ahmed listed the other new regulations as the Environmental Management Plan, Environmental Remediation Fund, Decommissioning and Abandonment, Gas Infrastructure Fund, and Natural Gas Pipeline Tariff. He also informed the group that a working team chaired by the Executive Director, Distribution System, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, Mr. Obugo Ukoha, had been set up to review the draft regulation, engage and consult stakeholders for smooth implementation when released. Ahmed further pledged the authority commitment in making the business climate in the midstream and downstream conducive for local and foreign investment to thrive. Still in Nigeria, on Sunday, at least 4 people were confirmed dead in the latest building collapse that occurred in the Lagos Island area. The previous toll was 1, and on Sunday, at least 4 people were confirmed dead in the building collapse. The bodies were recovered from the rubble after an edifice collapsed on Saturday in Nigeria's economic capital. 5 people have been rescued and emergency workers continue to search for survivors. Quoting the Zonal Southwest Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, local media reported that the 3-story building crumbled due to heavy rainfall. The building had been sealed off earlier because work violated safety regulations, but the developer didn't respect the interdiction. Other agencies which take part in the rescue operation back the NEMA. Away from Nigeria, the first in-person WHO Health Assembly since the beginning of the pandemic kicked off in Geneva yesterday. Uhuru Kenyatta, whose country is one of the 34 members of the Executive Board, urged purchasing organization to prioritize procurement of locally manufactured health products. The President of Kenya praised World Health Organization Chief Tedros Adhanom for his leadership during one of the WHO's most challenging period amid the coronavirus pandemic. Uhuru Kenyatta, whose country is on the WHO Executive Board, spoke at the Geneva's first in-person health assembly since the start of the COVID-19 global crisis. Greater vaccine and medicinal equality was strongly urged by Tedros throughout the pandemic. Raising the issue once again, Kenyatta told the assembly no country was immune to the impact of the virus, and no nation, however well-resourced, can do this alone. We now head to the foreign scene, where U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday endorsed Japan's plan to beef up its defense capabilities as he and Prime Minister Fumio Kishida committed to working closely to counter China's growing influence in Asia. Biden, on his first trip to Asia since taking office, is visiting the region as concern grows about China's assertiveness and reach across security and supply chains. The U.S. President commended Kishida's determination to strengthen Japan's defense capabilities, the White House said in a statement following their meeting. The two leaders committed to working closely on China's increasingly coercive behavior that runs counter to international law. The U.S.-Japan alliance has long been the cornerstone of peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific, and the United States remains fully committed to Japan's defense, Biden said at the beginning of talks with Kishida at the Akasaka Palace in central Tokyo. Now moving on, there are concerns as monkeypox for the first time spread worldwide, rattling the World Health Organization, United States, and United Kingdom. WHO yesterday said the recent outbreak reported across 12 countries are typical occurring in non-endemic countries. Monkeypox, rarely seen outside Africa, has been found in recent weeks in Europe and the United States. 10 other countries, including the US, Portugal, Spain, and Canada, have also detected cases. WHO in a statement said as of Saturday, 92 cases and 28 suspected cases had been identified in 12 countries outside of those African nations where it is endemic. It said 50 pending investigation and more cases are likely to be reported as surveillance expands. There has been one confirmed case in the United States. A man in Boston was diagnosed last week, but public health officials believe case number will soon increase. Also, US President Joe Biden yesterday raised the alarm about monkeypox, saying everybody should be concerned. WHO said it was working with partners to better understand the extent and cause of an outbreak. The virus is endemic in some animal population in a number of countries, leading to occasional outbreak among local people and travelers. Still on the foreign scene, 7 people have died after a high-speed Philippine ferry carrying 134 people caught fire Monday, with 7 passengers still missing. 5 women and 2 men had died, while 120 passengers had been rescued, with 23 of them treated for injuries, the Coast Guard said in a statement. Pictures shared by the Coast Guard showed people in life vests floating at sea awaiting rescue, while some were taken to safety by cargo ship in the area. Fire and thick smoke engulfed the 2-story passenger vessel, and it was not immediately clear the cause of the fire, but the Philippine, an archipelago of more than 7,600 islands, has a poor record for maritime safety, with vessels often overcrowded and many vessels aging. Away from the foreign scene, now onto the sports scene. Man City have been crowned 2021-2022 Premier League champions after a dramatic final day to the Premier League season. City, who knew a victory would secure them the title, were 2-0 down to Aston Villa with just 15 minutes remaining, but turned the game around with 3 goals in 5 minutes to win 3-2 in thrilling scenes to rival the famous 2012 Premier League title victory. Liverpool were 3-1 winners against Wolves, but fell short by just a point after a stunning 38-game deal, ending their quadruple hope. City have now won 4 Premier League titles and 8 major trophies under Pep Guardiola since his arrival in the summer in 2016. And finally, Manchester United goalkeeper David Ezeh says any player that do not want to fight for the club should leave this summer. United fell to a 1-0 defeat at Palace to bring an end to a disastrous season which has seen them record the lowest point tally in the Premier League era, but by giving a reprieve as Brighton beats West Ham 3-1 to ensure the Red Devils secure the Europa League qualification. It has been a remarkable collapse by United, who were spoken about as title contenders earlier in the season, which has left the squad in disarray with many of the players' future up in the air. Ezeh did not pull any punches as he gave his verdict on the team season and fired a warning to those in the dressing room that he feels a lacking commitment to the cause. And that concludes the news update on AFRICUNIA television. Do ensure to follow all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Jointum, and on Program to stay connected and updated to news and other programs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and leave a comment for us on the comment section. Once again, I am Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.